SAP OS level file system layout. So whenever you do the SAP installation operating system level, so there will be a so OS level file system will be created. In case sometimes we may have to log into the operating system level, we have to check the logs and all, we have to check it out. So in that case, so operating system level layout, which means slash usr sap sid. Okay, so this is the file system structure will be created at operating system level here, right? So here in that case, after the USR SAP SID, so there are the several folders will be created here, right? But USR SAP is the common here. USR SAP is the common here. Then after that, so after that there are the some files will be created here, folders, right? One is the sys folder, then second one is the d instance number, and the third one is called the ASS instance number. ASS instance number here. So they are the three folders under the each SID. Each SID, they are the three folders will be created here, right? Automatically that will be created here, right? So sys, under the sys is the system folder. It's a global, okay? System folder, it's a global directory here. Under the sys, we have always, there is a sys profile, okay? So sys exe, then sys global directory, we have the three subfolders again, okay? Under the sys, we have the profile, exe, global directory here. Profile means our profiles, operating system level profiles here. So you can access, once you log into the gem server, just you can type like KP online. It will ask the user ID and password at file browser level. I will share the password of this NW1. So you can see the, when you in the file browser, just type KP online one // KP online one. You see the, so you see the local directory here, USR SAP SID means it's a SAP local path mounted. Then under that you have the ECD or NW1, right? We have the sys D instance number, ASS instance number here, right? This is the ASS instance. This is the D application server related details. This is the system, right? So if you go to the sys, under the sys, we have the exe, global, and profile directory. Okay. So profiles contains the profiles. Normally, we have seen this concept. Profiles means parameters are there, right? So where can we do these changes in the SAP level means RG10, RG11. But when it comes to the operating system level, there is a one more way to change the profiles and parameters at operating system level. Profile directory. In the profile directory, you can open the profile. So then in the notepad level, you can open it. Then you can adjust the, so how many profiles you want to create it, you can create it here, right? How many profiles, how many, so whatever parameter you want to change it, you can change it here. That's possible here, right? Profile directory here. That's possible. So OS level also, in case we can change it. So in case you are unable to log into the SAP level to perform the changes, then what you can do? Go to the operating system level USR SAP SID, under SID sys profile. Here you can change the, so parameters here. Here you can change the parameters of the client and everything. You can change it here. This is the one more way to change the, so profile parameters at operating system level. But it's not the recommended approach to change at operating system level. We have to do it in the RG11. But in worst case scenario, we have to do these changes in the systems here, right? So exe directory means executable directory, means kernel directory. During the installation time, we have given the kernel path and everything, right? That kernel related file systems will be there in the exe folders here, executable files. It's a backbone for the SAP system here. Under exe, we have the UC, NTADM. Then we have the see these folders, these files are there. See here, ICM, gateway, your dispatchers, work process, NQ. So these all the process are running in the successfully means because of in the back end in the kernel directory, in the exe directory, we have that these binaries are there, these executables are there. These executables are the very important. In case if you executables are deleted, something is happens, you cannot system cannot start it first of all. System cannot start it here. So while starting the system, kernel directory, which means the exe directory, profile directories are mandatory. If these file systems are not exist at operating system level, so your SAP system won't start here. This is also one of the possible reason. So why SAP system cannot start after the restart, after the OS upgrade means sometimes these file systems will be missed. So that is the reason this exe and profile directory will not be started status here. Okay, so that is the profile directory, exe directory, and global means in the global directory we have the job logs and spool logs will be there in the global directory here. So job logs. So job logs and the spool logs will be stored at so global directory here. It will be stored at global directory here, right? DXE means kernel executable files here, very important. So and profile directory, profiles it contains the profiles, default profile and instance profiles. So then all will be here. So this is this will be in under the sys1. This will be under the sys system directory here. Job logs and spool logs are under the global directory here. Job logs. And how many clients are there? Those job logs and some security settings and spool logs will be there in the here in this directory here. Okay. So that is the under the sys here. Then coming to the instance number. The instance number. D means our application server here. In the application server file systems, we have here applications file systems we have here. So there are the data folder, log folder, then sec folder, then again we have the exe folder, same, and E, that is the very important, that is called the work directory. Same file systems will be in the here also. ASS exe directory also same file system will be in the here also here. Okay, same file system will be in the here also. Okay, so there is a the instance number data. Data means the statistics files, the paging files that will be available. Statistics files means in the SAP level when you go for the any one of the transaction code and we see the so statistics, right? We see the history and statistics. So those related things here. So suppose if you go to the here, we are seeing the history and statistics of the statistics of the transactions and everything, right? Those called the statistics file. So OS level here it is available. Stat files are available here. So this will be in the data directory here, right? So data directory, these file systems will be in the data directory. In case of something file systems are filling, so we can do the some cleanups here. We can do the some cleanup related activities. We can do it. So nothing will happen these file systems. And so here log directory, some alerts, so some other alerts related things and everything will be there. This is also not much important, and data also not much important. Sec directory means your PSCs file systems, so PSC certificates. So you done the S trust SSO2 certificates, right? S trust SSO2 for the certificates. So when you load the any certificate, that will be stored at operating system level here itself. Here in the sec directory, that will be stored here, sec directory, that is called the PSCs here. So whatever you do here, that will be stored at operating system level. Okay, so then exe kernel directory, same as like here, same as like this kernel directory, this kernel directory, this kernel directory. These three kernel directories are common, same files. So kernel will be in the three locations here. One is the sys exe, instance exe, then ASS exe here, ASS exe here. 3 locations it will be there in the systems here. 3 locations in the kernel directory here. Okay. So here the main thing is this and all the things are not much important. Only one important thing is here work directory. This is one of the troubleshooting directory here. Each and every log file, error file, each and every work process, each and everything process related log file will be stored in these file systems. You want to check the work process log files, then dev underscore work process 1, dev underscore work process 0, dev underscore ICM, availability log, gateway log file. So error log file, trace file, RFC file, anything, it will be stored into the here. So whatever we see in the SM50, suppose work process are responsible to process the any request. Suppose I want to check the this work process number 1 log. Why? Because it is running, right? Work process number 1. So here also you can check it out. You can go ahead and trace. You can open the trace file, display the trace file. This is also will go to the USR SAP SIDD instance number work directory, and this one it will go to here. So work process number 1. So then it will go to the this file. It will open this file. Instead of that, so this is the work process number trace file here. Here it will display the each and every information, clear information, what's happening with the so my work process, my system, what happening here, right? So what is the error messages we are facing here? All the information will be all the information will be recorded in this log files here. All the error information will be recorded in the log file here. Based on this error information, we need to troubleshoot the issues, right? So one of the error log file work directory means where to check the log files, error traces. If anyone asks this type of questions, one of the common troubleshooting directory is called the work directory. In the work directory, you can see the all the log files, trace files, each and everything we can see it here. Each and everything we can see it here. Suppose you want to check the dispatcher, something dispatcher is not running, dispatcher is not working, dispatcher is so something is happening, then you can based upon the timestamp you can see the what's happening with the my dispatcher status here, how the work process are created at what time. So 8th John Wednesday we have restarted. Then after that, so after that something is quotas are reserved, so after that server supports to the AMC something like that. So there is no errors here, right? So heaps allocation failed, so memory reset disabled. So they are the some messages we can see here, right? Some messages are we can see it here. So based upon this one, kernel runs on the DP versions. Okay. Then the warning, there is an invalid value. There is an invalid value set for this parameters. Okay. This is the invalid PRO2 invalid value here. This is the invalid value. Port PROT something. So like that, you see the clearly it's giving the information. So whenever you are starting the SAP system, see always it is looking the profiles. So without profile directory, it will system won't start here. That is the one of the important thing. So basically any error messages, either RFC related connectivities or anything, gateway related things, gateway related, RFC related, anything you can see it here. Also, we can see the ICM related anything here, ICM messages, ICM. So anything you can find out in the work directory. If anyone asks what is the troubleshooting directory means, you have to come to the work directory. In the work directory, you need to check the all the log files and everything. You have to check it out. All the work directory, we have to check the log files and everything here, right? So that is the work directory here. Okay, so work directory is a very important troubleshooting directory. All the traces in SAP system, something is happened, performance slow. So something is happened means the main thing is you need to check it out the so in the work directory only. In the work directory only, you have to check the all the log files and everything here. Okay, that is the one of the common troubleshooting directory here. Okay. So same as like ASCS instance also. So data common, log common, sec common, exe common, work directory. Work directory means same. So here we can see the all the work process related everything. Here, ASCS means message server, NQ server. So message server, NQ server related log files we can see in the ASCS instance work directory here. So message server, NQ, message server, all the directories we can see it here. Here we can see the all the information here. Okay. So this is the OS level log files here. It's very important log file to find out the issue, to troubleshoot the issues. So we have to check this thing is very important here, right? NQ, so message server, these things are very important thing here, right? So without this one, your system will not function here. That's why these log files are very important. These log files are very important directory. Any SID, if you go, ASCSD instance number sys, these three file systems are mandatory. Profile directory, global directory, exe directory here. Here also profiles are there. Any SID, if you see the common file system structure, this is the common most used file system structure here. Okay, most used file system structure here. Got it? So this is the one of the important topic here. Here mainly as part of the interview, they may ask you the questions on the, can you tell me the location of the job logs and spool logs where it will be stored? Then you need to tell like USR, SAP, SID, sys global directory. Can you tell me the location of the exe directories? Sys exe, D instance number exe and ASS exe here. So some errors are occurred. How can you troubleshoot it at operating system level, work directory? So where to check the work process logs, work directory. So something gateway errors, ICM errors, system restarted. You want to check the logs. What is the common troubleshooting directory, work directory? Can you tell me the navigation under USR, SAP, SID, D instance number, work directory here. Message server related log files. Where can you check ASCS work directory? Okay. So like that, they may ask you the questions here. Okay. So and apart from that, okay, to recap to the our the weekly activities what we discussed in the last week, weekly activities. Okay, the week activities what we discussed here, right? So we discussed about the in the last week after the recap schedule, we discussed about the how to troubleshoot like types of RFCs, right? Synchronous RFCs, asynchronous RFCs we discussed, right? And the transactional RFCs and queued RFCs here. Here, sometimes they may ask you, there the some transactional RFCs are failed in SAP system. Where can you check? Transactional RFCs are failed. Where can you check? SM58, there we can check the transactional RFCs, right? Failed transactional RFCs. That is called the LUWs. In case of it's failed for the target system, then we may have to reprocess. In case of still stuck, you have to inform to the respective system. In case of system down situation, we have to bring up the systems. Then so we have to, if you bring up automatically, it will process it here, right? So that kind of things. So there the lot of queues got stuck, inbound queues, inbound queues and outbound queues got stuck in the SAP system. How to check the entries here? SMQ1 and SMQ2 are the transaction codes for the inbound and outbound queues here. Queues registration, they may ask you what is the use of the SMQR, SMQS. Sometimes they may ask you the transaction codes. Then you may have to tell the SMQR, SMQS are the so SMQR, SMQS are the registration of the inbound and outbound queues. Registration of the inbound and outbound queues here. Okay, that is the main thing here. So then so certificates means so to establish the SSL connection in your system. So what certificate, what PSC you change means SSL server standard. To establish the SSL communication means pure HTTPS communication or SSL communication. You need to activate you need to create the SSL server certificate. So have you worked on the SSL server certificate? Yes. Then what is the procedure to get the SSL communication in your server? Then we have to create the SSL server standard PSE, then create the SSL server standard PAT, create the certificate request, send this request to the CA authorities, then they will send the response certificate, import the response certificate into the your system. Your system, you have to import it here. This is the thing you have to tell. Okay, this is the thing. So create the SSL server standard PSC, then send the create the request, then import the response certificate into the here, right? That is the main thing here. So where this there this will be saved at operating system level sec directory. In the sec directory, so in the sec directory, all the PSCs will be saved here. All the PSCs will be saved here. Whatever the PSC you have here. So now we created the SSL server standard PSC in the ECD, right? So definitely with the today's date, yes, see, with the today's date, there is a one PSC got created here. So whatever you do in the SAP application level, it will create the one entry in the data in the application, sorry, file system level. In case of if you have taken the backup, in case of this entry is deleted, then we can copy the this one. If you restart the system again, the entries will come to the black back status here, original status here. Okay, that is the one thing here. So where to establish the trusted connections, trusted systems connection, system to system trusted connections here. So then SMT1 is the transaction code. Here we can establish the trusted connection between systems here. So why we have to establish the trusted connection means to avoid the suppose to avoid the user ID password system to system, that's fine. System to system, so we can add the multiple system, this system into the here and this system into the here for communication purpose, this system into the here and this system into the here for communication purpose. You can go to the SMT1, you can add this system into the here, you can go to the SMT1, you can add this system to the here. Communication purpose, we have to add as trusted communication purpose. If we both are trusted, then we can do any business, right? If we are not trusted, then how system will accept your connection, right? That is the very strange behavior. It will behave the very strangely. So that is the reason. So anything system to system communication, first of all, the system should be in the so trusted list, means SMT1, SMT2 trusted list here, right? So SMT1, SMT2 we discussed. So then after that we discussed about the uh,
One doubt here. That what is the SNC?
SNC is the
SNC.
GUI, users to the users login procedure, SNC. Users to SSO communication purpose, that will use it here. From SAP logon pad to the, so SAP, whenever you use the SAP logon pad, whenever you open, so then it is asking the user ID password. So without asking this user ID password also, we can configure the SNC configuration here. So that SNC configuration we have to configure it here. Secure network communication. So that is also one of the part in the SAP SSO configurations. That's required the third party, one of the identity provider, either Azure or those related things we required, and those we have to, those related things we required, and those we have to import into the here, and our system certificate we have to import there. Something configurations we have to perform it here.
Can we cover that in
No, it's
upcoming?
not possible. Why? Because as I said, it's required the identity provider subscription is required. We don't have any Azure or so identity provider subscriptions. No
Yeah,
one will
that's fine,
cover.
but only the process.
No one will cover these things. If you want, I can share the document, but that will not be covered.
Okay, document. Yeah, that is also fine.
Okay. So then next we discussed about the performance related T codes, right? In the performance related T codes, there we discussed about the ST01 and tracing. ST01, ST05 are the tracing. Rare cases we will use this transaction codes. In case you are unable to find out the logs in the work directory, then So we can enable the tracing. Additional logs, we can enable the trace directory. So those you can check it out. ST01, ST05 here. Right? You can activate the trace. You can collect the more logs here. So in case sometimes what happens, system performance will be slow. So sometimes system performance will be slow due to performance will be slow means there are multiple factors, either CPU utilization, memory utilization, file system fill levels and everything. There is a one more factor, user trying to execute the one transaction code, it's taking very longer time. Only one transaction code, it is taking very longer time here, which means which means so there's only one transaction code is taking very longer time here, so which means so we need to check the whether the transaction code which is using having any custom functionalities. Sometimes what happens, for the standard T code they will add the custom structure and everything. So this custom structure means which created by the our development team, so that will create the some problem sometimes here. Sometimes what happens, the buffers in ST02 is so buffers if, and also one more issue, if the buffers are full, then sometimes the performance we may face the performance issues also here. Why? Because buffers are the main where it will store the frequently accessed data. In case the buffers are full, how this will store the frequently accessed data? It will not store it. Then so we may face it here. Then sometimes we may have to increase the allocated space of the buffer to the higher level. See, swaps are coming, so we may have to increase it here. We may have to increase the buffer. Sometimes we may have to do that one. In that case, so buffers also sometimes can cause the performance issues in the systems, right? So frequently accessed data will be stored into the buffers. So here mainly hit ratio, we need to check it out. It should be 99 plus, or good rating is the 95 plus. So very good rating 99 plus. If below, then the performance of the this buffer is very bad. So then which means so something is not storing in this records. Maybe sometimes so this kind of initial records, this kind of things we can ignore it. So mainly the program buffer. So these buffers are very important. These buffers are very important. Remaining buffers are, so it does not much required. Only the foreground buffer is very important here to load the programs and everything here. That is the very important thing here. Foreground buffers. So each buffer there are the some parameters are there. Suppose sometimes they may ask you how to change the buffer parameters, how to identify which parameters are related. So why? Because here if we go to the ST02, the current parameters there we can see the each buffer there is a buffer related parameter and the parameters are there. So you can go to the RG10 and you can do the restart of the application servers. Okay. So sometimes they may ask you the how to find out the yesterday's or last week, last month, the response time, dialogue response time. So sometimes monthly once we have to send the report to the customer. Monthly we have to send the report to the customer here regarding the your system utilizations and everything. We have to send the response to the customer here, right? In that case, we have to log into the SAP systems here. We have to log into the SAP system here. So we have to log in, then go to the ST03 and we have to find out the system performance, last month report and how it is the last month and this month, what is the dialogue response time here. So see here dialogue response times, and so this response time caused by the which transaction codes and which users caused the issues, which transactions and what time it got created here. So all the information we can find out here. See 12th to 13th hour, there is a very high response. What executed in the 12th to 13th hour. So these are the things are executed. So there is a RFC logging. There is a RFC, this response time. So like that, we need to find out the what transactions are executed in the so in the last month here, which caused the very high response time. There is a so one task list it is executed. This is executed by who? So there is a DDIC user, there is a background job which caused the high response time in the systems here. Then after that, what other things? So AL08, SE01, they are long running things here. So ranking side, what are the top response time of the dialog steps here? So dialog steps, memory usage. So ST03 basically to find out the response times and everything, history, fight for time, workload analysis and everything. ST03 we can go to there, we can find out the information here. ST03. So if anything they ask you, you can simply tell like DBA cockpit related transaction code. Sometimes you may get the request like, so hi basis team, could you please tell me the so top tables which are occupied. The top tables means top table informations and everything, large tables list and everything. Then you can go to the so DBA cockpit system information. You can find out the table details and everything here, all the information. So what is the table? What is the table? You can see the all the tables related details and everything we can find out here in the so here in the here. Also, they ask you to the DB size history. So can you tell me the size of the database, how the sizing is growing here, right? How the size is growing here in the, so I want in the graphical wise, you can see that in the graphical wise, how the size is growing here, used memory wise, how the size is growing and everything they may ask you. Then you can check the sizing here, right? So that is the one thing. And also sometimes they may ask you, can you check the whether the you don't have access to the OS level, then can you check the whether the all the database process are working or not here. Then you can go to the here, you can see the all the process are started here. So then you can see the status of the all the process are started in the HANA topic time. You will cover it all those things. Okay, you will come to know this one, right? So this way they may ask you some questions on the here. So you have to clearly understand the question. Okay, he's asking the DB related things. So DBA cockpit. So one transaction code you need to remember DB cockpit. Okay, DB cockpit related things. So even though if you don't know more, then so we have to go to the DBA cockpit. We need to check the relevant folder to find out the information and everything. We have to check it out here, right? So those related things DBA cockpit here, right? So and also yeah, one of the commonly then after that operating system means OST06 ST06, there you can find out the operating system related process, how many CPUs, how many idle time, number of process, free memory. So what is the memory, what is the free memory, so history of the previous CPUs, all the information you can see it here, idle and so 24 hours like CPU utilization time, swap memory, all the information we can see it here. So that thing you can see. So if you are entering one transaction code means what and all the things you can see in that run, you can find out from there. Okay, that is the one of the important thing here. And also main important things you need to remember is in case of sometimes so users may not able to log into your SAP system. You may have to check the free dialog work process that we discussed, right? We need to check the availability of the dialog work process. Also, we need to check the gateway work process table. These two things are very important here. Then logs and all work directory, you can check it out here. So also so logs, since we are discussing the logs, if we go to the A11 work directory, here we can see the, so sir, logs means we are checking only our OS level. Is there any way to check the transaction code to check the all the SAP directories from SAP level? Sometimes you may not get access to the operating system level, some customers. Then you can check from the operating system level, go to the A11. Here you can check the work directory. Here you can check the log files, what is the log and everything you have to check from here only. Okay, sometimes you may have to check from here A11. Then ST11 is directly it will open the error log files here, error log files, which means work directory there is a separate transaction code. These all are the work directory separate transaction codes. A11 is for the all the operating system level, the directories will be displayed here, all the operating system level, so directories will be displayed here. Okay, this is also important one here, A11 and ST11. Okay, so please practice the this one like your OS level file systems, logs checking and everything which we checked. And also, so just to think practically. So in case someone asks you the question like they asked you to how to check the DB history, DB size, and also how to check the buffers, swaps, why the swaps occur. Sometimes they may ask you. So last two I took the some interviews last week, last day and the day before yesterday. I asked this question: why the swaps occurs? When the buffers are running out of the free space, then swaps occurs. Then what you do? Then immediately we have to tell like, so in case we need to check the history of the that buffer. So per day, one more important thing, per day 10,000 swaps are allowed. 10,000 swaps are allowed. If the swaps utilization more than 10,000 is repeating, so we need to check the history. So then we need to plan for increasing the buffer size and everything. We need to plan for increasing the buffer size and everything. In case if required, then we need to ask our development team to clean the some data from the buffers. If there is no luck, there is no cleaning up required, then we can we can increase the some space at this swaps, we can increase it here. One important thing. Workload ST03, important thing to remember. So workload history, yesterday, every day, sometimes some organizations daily monitoring, we have to perform it, all the organizations. Every day we have to go to the ST03, we have to take the dialogue response time. So that is very important. So yeah, and work directory logs. Okay, then queues, SMQ1, SMQ2, registrations, QR and QS, and those things are very important. Sometimes you may have to disable the queues, SMQR, SMQS. You have to unregister and you have to registrations. You have to perform it there. Okay, so these things are important things here. So please practice it and yeah, that's it.
Sir, can you show this certificates are renewal when it's going to get expired? Will be renewal in it, right?
Yeah, we have to renewal it manually. So suppose example here you see the certificate, some certificates there is a date is suppose like 1 year. Whenever you get the signed from the CA, they will give you the validity only 1 year. This is the signed certificate, self-signed, which means system internal certificate. So it's 1 year. Then within 1 year, what you have to do, the certificate is going to expire in the next week. Then you have to just again create a request, then just send an email to the your concerned certificate department. Then they will send you the signed response certificate to you. Then you have to go to the again import the CA response certificate. You have to import from here. That's what we have to do it. Create a request and import the request. Simple. Only this certificate, SSL server standard certificate only. So we have to request and we have to import it.
We will be having some Ariba certificates, all those, right? Even for those also, is it the
Arriva
same?
also, if any certificates, then you have to import into the here as well. You have to import it.
Okay.
So if they, you got the, so then you have to go to the import the certificates here. If you have any third party certificates, those certificates you have to import into the SAP system side. Suppose like we have the DZ certificates are there, then just import the certificates of the DZ certificates. So see the certificate we have to just add to the certificate list.
That will come under anonymous, right? Third party.
Yeah, anonymous also we can import it. Anywhere you can import it, but majorly we have to import in anonymous only. Anonymous standard. So we have to import the
And
certificates.
what is this ACL?
ACL is the access control list. So sometimes, so suppose like portal certificate you have, that certificate normally we will import into the here. So then we have to add to the ACL list also, access control list also, so that it will be the more securable data will be encrypted, and also single sign on. Single sign on means without asking the user ID password, the connections will be accepted. Such system to system communications. So most frequently used systems, those system certificates, we have to add those system certificates into the ACL list. Okay.